Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Dupi Animation. And today we are going to take a look at a plugin in Cinema 4D that I used a while ago to do a promo. Okay, it is called Motion Drop. Okay, I'm talking about this particular plugin within the animation. The splines moving within the images there. All right, so let's not waste time. Let me bring out Cinema 4D and show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So now let's go and search for the effects. Content browser. Okay, so this is the motion drop. Let's double click it to apply it. So when you apply the motion drop effects, this is how it looks like at first. So now let's come to the plugin's attributes. Okay, when you come to objects here, basically it has the radius and the aspect ratio. All right, but let's forget about that and come to generator. Okay, so when you come to generator, it has drop 1. The drop 1 signifies 1 spline. Okay, so when I click drop 2, it will give us 2. You see that? You see? All right, 3, it will give us 3. Okay, and when you come to the material column here, this is where you do changes to the materials that you have here. Drop 1, if I want it to be something like red or any color at all, I can do that here. You see that? All right. So now let's check the mesh. Okay. You see that when you check the polygons, they are not smooth here. Okay. So when you come to the mesh, this is where you increase the resolution and makes it smoother. All right. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me come to Gora shading lines. You see, first it was like this, but once I increase the resolution, you see how smooth it is. You see, okay. Now let's check this, the tail. Okay, you can increase the tail centimeters to make it longer. Let's say something like 40 and see what happens. You see that it's long. It's not disappearing early like how it was first. It stays there a while before it goes away. Okay. All right. Let me reduce it to something like 20 and see 22. You see? All right. Then the radius, if you will not, it depends on how big you want the head is. If I make something like 120, you see how big it is? Something like 50. You see? How big you want the head to be like. Okay. All right. So let's maintain the 20 there. All right. Now the follow path here is when maybe you animate or you create a spline and use it as a path for it to follow through. Okay. So let's say I have, let me create just some spline here. Let's see. Let me just create a normal splines here. Okay, so I have something like this here, 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 here. So with this, I have this as our spline in here. Okay, this. So what I'll do is when I come to the motion drop, follow path, I'll just click and drag the spline into this. Okay, then set the animation. Let me increase the frame rates here to something like 180. Okay, so from here, I'll set a key here. Then somewhere like, let me see, 160, I go 100. Then end the key. So you see what happens. You see that it's following through the spline. You see? You see that? Yeah. So basically, that's how the motion drops works. All right. So now coming back to the promo I played earlier, how I set it up. Okay, it's easy actually. I have my images in Photoshop where I removed the backgrounds. Okay, so what I did was I brought only the images here, so it was transparent. I created the material, then came to color, then load texture. Okay, so let's say I'm using this image, so I'll select this first image. Okay. All right, now let me make this one plain so that I can see it well. Let me change it to plane. Okay, so I will copy this texture, then come to, let me take out the reflectance, and then come to alpha channel, then paste it here. So you have this. All right, so now let's insert in a plane. Okay, so this is our plane here. Okay, if it's too small, you can just increase it to any amount that you want. Okay, so this is enough. All right, so just click and drag the image onto the plane here. See, then change the plane others to something like -z. So you have something like this. You see, then the checkers inside, just give it one here, segments, one here. All right, then you are done. So basically, this is how I set it up. All right. So from here, you see that whilst the spline, the motion drop is moving through the images were flipping upwards. Okay. So for that, I made the plane editable. I hit C to make it editable. Then come to the others tool here, enable others tool here. Then move it to the bottom here. Okay. Maybe to the end of where the feet of the images. All right. Then come out of the others tool. So just use rotation. It's as simple as that, rotation, you see. So maybe the beginning is here, something like this, or it's under something like that. Then I'll just click, set a key on rotation, then somewhere like 60 frame, then come to 0 so that it will stand up. So you have something like this. Once it reaches there, it comes out. Okay. So what I did was I animated the path, the spline path throughout. Okay. So if I have something like this, let's say, what's it? So let me select this pen tool and let's see something here. Like always, let's say I'm setting it up here. So I'll create spline around this. Okay, somewhere here is okay. Okay, so from here, maybe the point here, I'm coming. You can smoothen the point there if you want. Okay, so I'm creating the spline around that particular image. Okay, so I have something like this. Let me come to motion drop, then come to path, follow path. So I'll just drop the spline in here. All right, so let's see. So the spline is upward, so let me rotate it so that it will lie down. Still not what I want, but let me just adjust it so that you understand it a bit. Okay, so let's see, I have something like this. Okay, so I'll just animate the follow path position. So from 0, I'll set a key here, then somewhere 150, go to 100. You see that? So it's like this. You see? Then it was just passing through. So to do this kind of thing, you just have to have lots of images, then set them inside your stage there. Then what? Create the spline path within the images. Then you animate the motion drop through. It's simple, actually. All right? All right. So that's it with the introduction to the motion drop effect. All right? See you next time, guys.